What I'm saying is, let's just say that Meech didn't know about, Tammy was gonna set up Cuffy and the Mexican Suarez or whatever, right?
Right.
But after he's found out, because everybody knows she's an informant now, they're still doing the show with her. They're still dealing with her. She was still on the red carpet for BMF.
Was set up by one of his best friends, which is Demetrius Flannery, also known as Big Meech. My dad and Meech have been friends for 30 years plus. I've known Meech my whole life. I look at him like an uncle.
The internet has been buzzing with speculation after 50 Cent called Black Mafia family founder Big Meech a rat for linking up with Rick Ross. And guys, it looks like the drama is only getting started because Big Meech fired back and gave 50 a serious warning to back off, or else. 50 made a series of posts attacking Big Meech after it was announced that Meech is teaming up with Rick Ross for a welcome home concert in Florida.
Ross, Ricky Rose, the time has come. Meech home. February 13th, get your tickets right now, it's going down.
As y'all know, 50 Cent is one of Rick Ross's biggest ops, and 50 is the kind of guy who expects complete loyalty from anyone he's doing business with. So, he took the Big Meech and Rick Ross collaboration very personally. However, Meech is now firing back, saying the real snitch here is 50 Cent, because the only reason 50 is crying about all this is that he's mad Meech is doing business with his op. Guys, this whole thing is one hot, stinking mess, so let's get into it. One thing we should all know about 50 Cent by now is that when he takes someone as an enemy, he really takes them as an enemy. Like, the man is a professional hater, and it looks like Big Meech is the latest to get caught up in 50 Cent's web. It all started after 50 shared a photo that said, "The truth and nothing but the truth, BMF." Who is Tammy Cowins? In the caption, he added, "This is going to blow your mind. Doc coming soon. The facts are stranger than fiction." Boom. 50 was making reference to BMF, the crime drama TV series that follows the Black Mafia family.
Because he never took a deal or snitched on his co-conspirators.
And he went down. And when he went down, he and his brother were sentenced to 30 years in prison.
Brothers were charged with conspiracy to distribute 5 kilos or more of cocaine, possession with intent to distribute more than 500 grams, conspiracy to launder monetary instruments, and 2 counts of possession with intent to distribute more than 5 kilos. Big Meech maintained his innocence throughout the trial in 2008, but the evidence against him was overwhelming. He was found guilty and sentenced to 30 years in prison. However, in October 2021, it was announced that Big Meech was getting released from prison to a residential reentry program in Miami. His official release date was set for August 17, 2025. As great as this news was for Big Meech, his family, and his fans, people were still confused about how he ended up getting out of prison way earlier than expected. This sparked speculation that the only way he could have pulled that off was by cutting some kind of deal, one that involved him becoming an informant. And who helped him get that deal? None other than his bestie, Tammy Cowins. Fun fact, for those who don't know, Tammy Cowins owns the rights to Big Meech's life story. He sold the rights to her. Another fun fact, Tammy Cowins is known for being a government informant. In 2022, Tanya Welch, also known as the First Lady of the Black Mafia family, did an interview with Vlad TV where she spilled the tea about how she first found out that Big Meech sold his life rights to a government informant. Tanisha revealed that Tammy launched a smear campaign against her and even tried to send her back to jail. According to her, she was disgusted and disappointed when she saw people who were supposed to be her friends getting cozy with Tammy on the red carpet for the release of the BMF series.
I get down to my probation officer, my son in the car, said, if I don't come out in a couple of hours, call the lawyer. I get in there, Tammy Cowins is a government informant. So she says, my probation officer is sitting there and some other guy. I can't remember his name, but I just knew he was part of the DA. And he come in, I go in, I'm like, this is everybody's nightmare. I already did my time. Only thing I wanted to come home and do is take care of myself, take care of my family, make amends for my mother, redeem myself through, the world, or anybody that I felt like I affected. So they tell me, and he says, you know what this is about? And I said, no. He said, well, you threatened a government informant, and that's a federal offense, and plus it's a violation of your probation. And I said, well, who did I threaten? I don't know what you're talking about. So he go over the story, and I'm sitting there, and I'm telling you, when I've heard of people killing themselves not to go back to prison. I went to prison, man. I went to prison. When I say I came home and all these people were going at my head, all these people I helped, all these people, I'm a mother. I was somebody's daughter. I lost my father, lost my mother. You know, I was somebody's daughter. And here you are. You didn't put in no work. No work. All you did is start writing a man, and this man befriended you, gave you his life rights. And just because you've been a government informant since 2008, you have the right to tell them that I threatened you. I went on, they told me that they were gonna arrest me. They were gonna charge me.
But hold on, because this story gets wilder. Now, even if Tammy was going to get Big Meech released, he still had to line up someone else for the feds as part of his deal. Enter St. Louis kingpin Dion Gatling, aka Cuffy. Cuffy and Big Meech were friends and longtime business partners who had been doing business together for over 20 years, since the early 1990s. According to Cuffy, he was the first person to put $1 million cash in Big Meech's pocket. Big Meech was also close to Cuffy's family, and Cuffy's daughter, Tamara, basically called him Uncle. Tamara later spilled the tea about how they found out that Big Meech lined up her father, Cuffy, through the help of government informant Tammy Cowins.
Gatling, I'm making this recording in regards to my dad. He's Dion Gatling. Most people know him as Cuffy. But I wanted to make this recording so I can shed light on some facts. My dad was set up by one of his best friends, which is Demetrius Flannery, also known as Big Meech. My dad and Meech have been friends for 30 years plus. I've known Meech my whole life. I look at him like an uncle. Like, this situation has been completely devastating on so many different levels, and there's still so many questions that aren't answered. At this point, I can only shed light on what I know for sure to be facts, and hopefully one day I will have the complete truth. But in 2011, around that time, Meech reached out to my dad in regards to creating a BMF movie. So Meech hooked my dad up with a woman named Tammy Cowins. At the time, Tammy was Meech's power of attorney. Also, she owned the life rights. So my dad was working with Meech, Tammy, T, basically trying to work on a movie. Finally arrested my dad, and we received the discovery. He knew exactly who CS1 was, and he told me and my mom that it was Tammy Cowins. At that time, we really did not want to believe. We wanted to give Meech the benefit of the doubt. It was really, really hard to believe that Meech would set my dad up. It was almost unbelievable. So we were able to reach out, get a message to Meech, and basically let him know that Tammy was an informant. We later received a message from him saying that it had to be a misunderstanding. Just call her, she'll straighten this out, so on, so on. And at this time, my dad was like, I'm not dumb, I'm not about to call an informant.
Oh, but if you thought that was bad, wait till you hear it from a horse's mouth. Cuffy himself has been pushing this narrative of Big Meech being a snitch for over 10 years now. In a leaked jail phone call, Cuffy broke down in detail how Big Meech sold him out to the feds to save his own behind.
How did Meech have information on you and give it to Tammy so you could get caught up in it? How did that happen? So that means you got to go back to the movies.
Okay, so, well, let me take them back. So, me and Tammy were working on the BMF movie. I originally had the script and paid for the script for the BMF movie, not the show that 50's doing on Stars. But I originally paid for the script for the BMF movie, so we were shopping the movie.
So Tammy was involved at that time, which is CS1. So
Tammy Cowins, CS1 had all Meech's life rights.
right. And what year was that?
This all the way back in 09, 2010.
Okay. So this.
We proved that there was a legitimate business.
Right.
Legal business.
Right.
So, well, so let's take it back. The original target was the guy by the name of Fidel Suarez. That was a Mexican cartel member out of California. He was the initial target.
Right. Fidel Suarez was the initial target out of Cali.
His name is in the paperwork.
Right. That's that.
Tammy was trying to get Suarez.
His whole thing about Big Meech working with Tammy to set someone else up is super messy. Whack 100 weighed in on the situation and revealed that Big Meech had compromised himself even further by doing business with Tammy and selling his life rights to her.
What I'm saying is, let's just say that Meech didn't know about, Tammy was gonna set up Cuffy and the Mexican after he's found out, because everybody knows she's an informant now. They're still doing the show with her. They're still dealing with her. She was still on the red carpet for BMF with Lil Meech and all them. Don't you feel like that's dishonorable, bro? Like to still be dealing with her knowing that she got your man banged for 30 years?
Yeah, it's definitely, if it happened like that, it's definitely dishonorable, but you have to look at something else. Like if she owned everything, if she owned the rights to that, like you're not getting her off the red carpet. Like you understand that too? That's her. So
yeah, but you still got the option to not do business with her though, bro.
Yeah, but not doing business with her is giving her your whole life story too, for sure.
Now, Big Meech hasn't personally addressed any of this yet, but the streets are saying he's not about to opt out of his collaboration with Rick Ross simply because 50 Cent's feelings are hurt.
The moves I make, I most definitely have an agenda. I don't do anything to piss off a little peon. You know what I mean?
I can't believe a stand-up dude doing his time would suddenly say, I don't want to be here no more. I'm gonna become a rat bastard. And I'm gonna have my girl tell on my mans and them.
We'll just let it be told when the story gets told. Yeah, and I'm only gonna stick to the truth and keep it pushing.
Matter of fact, he supposedly believes 50 Cent is a hypocrite for calling him a rat because he linked up with Rick Ross when he had been working with Tammy Cowins for over a decade. 50 Cent and Tammy have been working on the BMF franchise since 2008, around the same time word started getting around that she was an informant.
Director. Shout out to my homie F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino, there's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big, I can feel it. I'm just talking. When you talking to a major player such as myself, listen, when you talking to a major player such as myself, the moves I make, I most definitely have an agenda. I don't do anything to piss off a little peon.
He knew about it all along. So how come 50 working with a known snitch does not make him a rat, but Big Meech working with Ross makes him a rat? Make it make sense. A lot of people also believe 50 Cent is acting shady, and they've been leaving comments like, so 50 partnered with an informant. Why isn't that the headline yesterday, today, and tomorrow? This is not the first time 50 knew about Tammy Cowins. He didn't care until Meech effed with B. It's crazy because she's been exposed. Tammy Cowins is a government informant, but 50 was cool with working with an informant up until Meech got cool with Rick Ross. Nobody was really saying anything about it. It's similar to Jay-Z working with Desiree Perez. But now, we'd like to hear your take on this drama. Do you think 50 Cent is being a hypocrite, or do you think Big Meech crossed a line by linking up with Rick Ross? Drop a comment down below, and stick around if you'd like more videos like this.